Smiling is something that is innately, we're drawn to it. It's something that is contagious. So what is it that keeps people from smiling? And most often, the most simple answer to this is pain. It can be physical, psychological, or both. And I know a thing or two about pain. I was born with a rare genetic disorder that stunts hormonal and physical development in about one in every 2,000 to 2,500 live female births throughout the world. This is called Turner syndrome. This has led to many surgeries and lots of other things, but that's been painful. But what they've also have taught me is a thing or two about happiness. When I say happiness, what I mean are moments that are uplifting, that allow you to smile more. There are 3 different ways that I'm going to talk about to help manage more, but before I do, I want you all to think about a bad day. You guys all got it? All right, I want you to remember that. And these are 3 tips that'll help, hopefully to help you smile even during those really bad days. The first is to enjoy the little things. The second is to appreciate everything. Be like Mike. And 3, do not complain a lot. So enjoy the little things. Some of you may know that this is something from Zombieland. But it doesn't just, what I've learned in my life is that it doesn't just apply to apocalypse situations. Instead, it can also apply in situations like this. When I was about 5 years old, I had a tissue expander placed in the back of my neck. One of the physical characteristics that's very common with Turner syndrome is to have excess tissue around the neck. So they put in an expander to help with this. And I remember I actually couldn't even move my head. I was like a little robot. I had to move my whole body if I wanted to look at something on the other side. But despite this, one day I managed to get the new Pokemon movie. Yes, it's in VHS. That is how old this was. This picture is. But that is the kind of thing, to me, that is really powerful. And another example of this was, I had to do my jaw, and I couldn't eat I still eat baby food. I'm going to come back to this experience later. But also, one day I got stuffing, and my mom remembers that was such a big deal because I loved the stuffing. I mean, it's not something you usually really appreciate, is stuffing. Much like Woody Harrelson appreciated his Twinkies in Zombieland. Now, research also shows that having experiences like this, and also that having experiences like these that mean a lot, is something that is scientifically, that has science behind it. So there's something that Dr. David Nettle in his book, he's an English professor and psychologist, he talks about changing the subject. To me, that Pokemon movie helped me to change the subject. It helped to get my mind away from the pain, even if just for a little bit. So the next thing is don't try to be happy, just remember the rules. Rule number 32, but also do try to be like Mike. Be like Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan the thing that you may not know about him is that he didn't make his high school basketball team. Yet, for sports enthusiasts all across the country, he still continued to play the sport he loved. I'm obviously not a big basketball person, but I managed to find my passion when I was a kid, and that was in acting. I would get up there as a little kid and say lines like, "I'm a giant," but I loved it. It was something that allowed me for a little while to take myself away from the pain. It was something positive. I enjoyed going to practice. I enjoyed going and being on stage, and in that way, it's very similar to a method that Dr. Nettle also describes, which is called positive activities training. The idea is that if you do something you enjoy, write it down and continue to do it more. This is something that helps to improve, has been shown to improve happiness. When you're having those bad days, try and do something you like. Listen to a song that you really enjoy. Things like that. That will allow your mind to take you away from whatever may have went wrong in that day. Do not complain a lot. Dr. Stephen Hawking, I think, in a quote, really did a good job at describing this rule. He said, "People want to be around you if you're always angry or complaining." And when I had my jaw broken, back to that experience, my mother hated eating in front of me because she could eat hamburgers while I was eating baby food. But I never complained. I did complain, however, about the commercials on TV because really, Hardee's, come on, that's not okay. But when they asked me when I was a kid, the first time, to rate my pain on a scale of 1 to 10, I told the doctor immediately that my pain would never be a 10. And this shocked, when I told him that my pain level was a 1, this shocked him. He couldn't believe that after I just got my chest cracked open, my pain level was a 1. It's something that it's okay to complain. It is a normal thing to do. It's a human thing to do. What complaining does, if it's done too much, it actually, research has shown that it activates the negative feedback loops in your brain. So it's like having, in the extreme form, it would be the idea that whatever pain it is that you may be experiencing will last forever. I want you guys now to just take a moment and smile. Do you remember that bad day? Right? Bad days, like pain, they're a part of life. But they don't have to be a negative experience. I want to close with the great scene from a German-made film called Hector and the Search for Happiness. In it, the main character, Hector, is having a conversation with an old Chinese monk. And he says to the monk, he asked him, "You've been through so much. How is it that you're so happy?" And the monk says, "It's because I've been through so much." Whenever you guys have one of those really bad days, I want you to think back to being like Michael Jordan, enjoying the little things, the things I talked about. And I hope that you'll be able to smile. Thank you.